Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Conqueror Gun Carriage. It's the Tier 10 British SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Murovanka, and it's under the command of Photobomber of FUN2. And he's got one mark of excellence on the barrel. Game on! Well, fake tank, I'm afraid, because although they did make the Conqueror tank, they didn't actually make an Arty based on the hull, so this didn't actually exist. It's a figment of Wargaming's imagination. 9.2 inch howitzer, which actually equates out to being 233.7 millimeters, makes it the second biggest howitzer in the game, of course, after the 24 centimeter one on the T92 HMC. Okay, we're in position, ready to go. Reload time 35.7. By the book, it's 44.1, so he's actually knocked off. 9 seconds, roundabout. Tessac fired a round and a few rounds rather, and yeah, not very effectively because he's hitting the ridgeline. Tends to make me think that possibly he's auto-aiming onto that T100 LT, and consequently the shells are not going anywhere near the target. You'll notice the arc is quite wide though, 30 degrees either side of the center line, which means that he doesn't actually have to move from this position as long as his arc is centered on this spot. And he's loaded. Does take a long time to load though. Times the shell perfectly, gets a hit on the IS-7 and on the 260. The other RT on our team happens to be an Object 261, which is why he's firing slightly faster than us, because of course he's got a much shorter reload. Now we've got 3 enemy tanks there. Unfortunately, they're just on that ridgeline, so it does make it very difficult to slip a shell over the ridgeline into the target. He fires straight away though, and yes, he does get a hit, a direct hit on the 260. He's forcing them back, and that's actually giving our teammates the advantage. They're pushing around the corner. Over in the Magic Forest, though, things are not going so well for our teammates. Of course, that Tessac is just rocking backwards and forwards, and that was the Object 261 just hitting one of the enemy tanks and giving it a big direct hit. Of course, we're firing now at the strip. Oh! That was a huge hit! 551 from that one. Now these howitzer shells, they're capable of doing 1000 alpha 59mm a pen, so you can see, yes, very big hits. And with the non-stun HE, it's 1350 and 74mm a pen. But of course the blast radius is much smaller, so you really do need to make sure that those shells do hit the target. Ideally you want somebody who's on a fixed position on a corner, and then you can actually put the shells in and do huge damage. Does get some stun off the Progetto. Now I don't know if you've noticed on the mini-map, but our T100 LT has gone deep into enemy territory. It's actually found one of the enemy RT, just killed him. That was the Object 261. Unfortunately, our little T100 got wiped out by their Heshpan, so he's out the game now. We're one up on the enemy. Go and fire on the corner. And the shell lands next to the Object 260 again. That guy must be really punished by now. Cranvarm takes a big hit from our E100. And you can see that the enemy RT is in that copse of woods near the enemy cap area. So that's where he's located, because we can see the tracer coming out from those woods. Now, 260 there's a bit difficult to hit. The IS-7 looks the best candidate for it at the moment. There's also a Hesh barn off just the other side of that hill. E4 pulling back. That's something he can't miss, and decides not to shoot. In fact, he sees the Hesh barn. He thought, right, I'm going to have that. He could kill the guy with just one hit. But again, he's waiting, and oh, we saw that tracer coming directly towards us from the GWE-900. We fire blind. Probably would have been better off going after the E3. The Hesh barn does get wiped out, but so does our E-900. And now we're 9-all. 6 tanks left on either side. We still got both our Arty. They haven't. They've only got one. That might, in some people's eyes, give them an advantage, but actually I believe it doesn't. It actually makes it worse for them. Arty is a force multiplier because, of course, it stuns the enemy, slows them down, makes them vulnerable. Rounds out. Direct hit on the E3 for 143. Now, the enemy is getting fairly close. But of course, one shot in the right place can actually devastate the enemy. The Object 260 is now one shot. There you can see it's only 52 hit points left. Meanwhile, our gorilla is having fun with the enemy further north. And there goes the 260. He's out. So it's 4 left on either team. We've lost one of our Arty as well. And it looks like the enemy Arty, the GWE-900, has moved up and is somewhere on the west side of the map now. Their E4 goes now. So it's 3 versus 3. Our gorilla is still full 100% health. He's facing off against the IS-7, which is not the best enemy to be against, but the thing is he has so many hit points to play with, it makes it very easy. And we're about to fire on the E3. Rounds out. Well, we actually hit our own teammate who drove in front of the shell, but we did get stun assist off the E3. That was unfortunate that the shell hit the wrong person at the wrong moment. But now the IS-7's in a whole world of trouble because he's only got 100 hit points left and the gorilla takes him out. And now it's just the enemy Arty left. So they didn't play it very well towards the end. Photobomber managed to get the one kill, the Object 260. Even though he got that accidental hit on his own teammates by at the wrong moment, he still managed to splash the enemy long enough to keep him stunned whilst he was taken out by our teammates. So very well played. And there is the GW. He is on the west side of the map, as I said he was. He moved from the cops onto the west side. And there's a lovely direct hit and wiped out immediately afterwards by the Centurion Action 10. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Photobomber of FUN2 in the Conqueror Gun Carriage. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he managed to get 12. And he also got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. In fact, he only got the 1 kill, which meant that every other tank that he was actually hitting was actually contributing to the total. But with the exception, of course, of the Centurion Action 10, which was on his own team, who he accidentally struck. And it came off as a armor not penetrating, of course, no team damage. The win rate came away as 3,086, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage in the game turned out to be the Gorilla 15 on our team. Got the top gun and 3,844 hit points. In second place, it actually turns out to be the E4 on the enemy team with 3,629. And in third place, it's the E3 on the enemy team with 3,280. You can see here, Photobomber got 3,180 hit points, so he was the last player in the 3,000 mark. When it came to kills, the high scorer was the Grillet again. 6 kills to him, 3 kills to the Heshbon on the enemy team, 2 kills to the can opener, and of course the Tessak on the enemy team. And again, Photobomber, only the 1 kill. But when it came to base XP, we can see that the top scorer is the Grillet with 983. Then we've got the Conqueror Gun Carriage 920. Third place goes to Centurion Action 10, who got 830 out of that game. We can see that Photobomber got 11 shots off in the game, 6 direct hits on the enemy, none of them penetrated, but he did get 16 splash. 3,180 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. And some of those shots did get around about 500 hit points per shot, which of course meant that it was a non-pen, but it was a high roll on the non-pen. 9 enemies were damaged, 1 was killed, and 2,255 hit points of stun assist off 15 stuns. On a premium count, he actually made 15,257 credits profit, and he also took away 37 bonds, 7 of that for being a tier 10, and 10,350 experience points because he got a mission bonus of 8,280. So, very good game in the Conqueror Gun Carriage. He kept pumping those shells out. And of course, he was hitting multiple tanks with each shot because even though he only fired 11 rounds, he got 16 splashes. So yes, by applying the shells to do the maximum damage, where there was more than 1 tank at the same time, he was, yes, maximizing his profit by not only hitting more tanks than anyone else, but of course actually depleting them of their hit points bit by bit. Hope you enjoyed that game. If you did, please give it a like, and thank you for watching.